Hello and welcome to StudyIQ. In this lecture, we will be discussing about the National Financial Reporting Authority, NFRA, National Financial Reporting Authority. This has become an important current affair because in the month of March 2018, the Union Cabinet has approved National Financial Reporting Authority. That means the Union Cabinet has given approval for the creation of this authority. The purpose of creating this authority is to regulate the finance of large companies. So, regulating the financial audit of large companies is the purpose. Financial audit of larger companies. So, NFRA will be an independent regulator. So, this will be an independent body which will be responsible for financial auditing or regulating the financial audit of larger companies. So, NFRA will be an independent body and also, this will regulate the auditing profession, and the creation of such an authority was firstly recommended by the Standing Committee on Finance. So, Standing Committee on Finance first recommended this creation of such an authority. One thing you must understand is that NFRA will not only have the power to oversee or regulate chartered accountants, but also it will have the powers to oversee or regulate the firms of the chartered accountants. So, chartered accountants and also chartered accountant firms will be regulated or overseen by NFRA. Earlier, this was done by the ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So, which all companies will come under NFRA? So, under NFRA will cover all listed companies. So, all the listed companies will be covered under NFRA. Also, large unlisted companies. So, large unlisted companies will also be coming under NFRA. So, when we say large unlisted companies, there should be some benchmark to determine whether they are large unlisted companies. So, this word large. So, there should be some benchmark which decides whether the company is a large company or not. If it is large company and unlisted company, it will come under NFRA. All the listed companies will come under NFRA. So, the benchmark for setting or whether deciding this is a large unlisted company or not, this will be given in the rules. So, under the rules of the National Financial Reporting Authority, they will specify which all unlisted companies comes under the category of large unlisted companies. So, this will be set up in the rules. So, when we say listed company and unlisted company, you should have an idea what is a listed company and what is a unlisted company. So, when we say listed company means a company whose shares are traded on an official stock exchange. So, listed company means the shares of a company which are traded on a listed stock exchange. And when we say unlisted company, the shares of this company or the shares of the unlisted companies are not traded in an official stock exchange. So, we can say that the shares of the unlisted company are privately owned. So, the shares of unlisted companies are privately owned or they are not traded on an official stock exchange. But when it comes to listed company, the shares are traded on a stock exchange. As we already said, NFRA will cover all the listed companies and all the large unlisted companies, and the benchmark of the large unlisted companies will be set up in the rules or mentioned in the rules of the NFRA. So, NFRA covers all listed companies, large unlisted companies, and also NFRA covers all the instances referred by the central government. So, listed companies, large unlisted companies, and whatever instances are referred by the central government, NFRA will also investigate on those issues. So, for example, the recent Punjab National Bank scam. So, if the central government refers this matter to NFRA will cover that also. So, whatever instances are referred to the NFRA by the central government, that also will be covered under the NFRA. So, we said that the Union Cabinet approved the formation or the creation of National Financial Reporting Authority in the month of March 2018. So, under the approval, the Union Cabinet has approved the creation of certain posts under NFRA. So, certain posts has also been approved by the Union Cabinet. Let us see what are the posts approved by the Union Cabinet under NFRA. First of all, it approved for the post of a chairman. So, the NFRA or the National Financial Reporting Authority will have a chairman who will head the authority. So, there will be a chairman. There will be 3 full-time members. So, there will be 3 full-time members under the National Financial Reporting Authority. And also the cabinet has approved one post for the secretary. So under this NFRA there will be a secretary post also. So these three posts are approved by the Union Cabinet. So we already said that NFRA has the power to not only investigate chartered accountants but also the firms of the chartered accountants. So chartered accountants and also chartered accountant firms are covered under NFRA. So the National Financial Reporting Authority can look into or investigate matters relating to the chartered accountants and also relating to the firms of the chartered accountants. Also NFRA has the power to impose punishments, or we can say that the NFRA can impose penalty in case of any default or misconduct. So in case of individuals, that is chartered accountants are individuals. So in case of chartered accountants, if there is any misconduct, the National Financial Reporting Authority can impose a penalty of fees collected into 5 times. So in case of any misconduct by a chartered accountant, the NFRA has the authority to impose a penalty, and the penalty will be or can be up to 5 times the fee collected by the particular chartered accountant. So if there is any misconduct from the side of chartered accountant, the NFRA will impose penalty from the chartered accountant. And when it comes to chartered accountant firms, we said that it can impose penalty not only to chartered accountants but also to firms. So when it comes to firms, the NFRA has the authority or the power to impose a penalty of up to 10 times of the fee collected. So in case of individuals it is up to 5 times, and in case of chartered accountant firms it is up to 10 times of the fee collected by the particular firm. Also in case of grave misconducts, the NFRA or the National Financial Reporting Authority has the power to impose punishments, not only penalty but also punishments. So in case of punishments, the NFRA can debar an auditor for a term of up to 10 years. So NFRA can debar an auditor up to 10 years. So in case of grave misconducts, National Financial Reporting Authority has the power to debar an auditor for up to a term of 10 years. So we have discussed that according to the Union Cabinet approval, NFRA will have a chairman, it will have 3 full-time members and also 1 post of secretary. And according to NFRA can have up to 15 full-time or part-time members. So NFRA can have up to 15 full-time or part-time members apart from the chairman. So coming to the appellate body can have up to 2 members other than the chairman. So we already said that earlier the chartered accountants and the firms of the chartered accountants were governed by or regulated by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So coming to ICAI, it is a statutory body. So it has given a statutory status. This has been created by an act of the Parliament. So this has been created by the Chartered Accountants Act of 1949. So earlier this was responsible for the regulation of chartered accountants and also the firms of the chartered accountants. So now a new body has been constituted or has given approval for constitution, that is the National Financial Reporting Authority or the NFRA. So even though NFRA has been created, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India will also have the role of regulation. So apart from NFRA, the ICAI will also do the function of regulating, which means even though NFRA has been created, ICAI will continue to regulate. So who will the ICAI regulate? In general, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India will regulate all its members. So all its members will be regulated by the ICAI also. Members means the chartered accountants or the auditors. So all the chartered accountants who are a member of the ICAI will be regulated by the ICAI also. So that is with regard to the members. And coming to the companies. So coming to companies, the private limited companies. The private limited companies and the public unlisted companies. So the public unlisted companies and the private limited companies will be regulated by the ICAI. So you must remember here that the private limited companies and the public unlisted companies below a certain limit. So we said there will be a benchmark which will be set under the rules of the NFRA. So those private limited companies and public unlisted companies which comes under the benchmark will be regulated by the ICAI. So ICAI will continue to regulate all the members, that is the chartered accountants or the auditors. In general, ICAI will regulate its members. Also the private limited and the public unlisted companies below the benchmark level will also be regulated by the ICAI or the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Also one more important thing, ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, will continue its advisory role. So what is the advisory role of ICAI? It will advise with regard to accounting and auditing practices. So it will give advice to NFRA. So the new body is NFRA. So ICAI will give its advice relating to the accounting and auditing standards and policies. So auditing standards and policies, regarding auditing standards and policies, ICAI will render its advice to National Financial Reporting Authority. Now let us see what is the significance of National Financial Reporting Authority, or what was the need for the creation of National Financial Reporting Authority. Several financial accounting scams have taken place in the country. The recent example is the Punjab National Bank fraud. So in the case of financial accounting scams, a proper regulatory mechanism was absent. So that gave rise to the need for a National Financial Reporting Authority. The idea of NFRA came up with the Satyam scam. Satyam scam was in the year 2009. So with the Satyam scam, the idea of NFRA came up, and following the Satyam scam, the Standing Committee on Finance recommended for a creation of an audit regulator. So following Satyam scam, Standing Committee on Finance recommended for a regulator on auditing. One thing you must remember is that India is the only major economy where the auditing profession is self-regulated, which means that self-regulated means ICAI, that is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It is a self-regulatory body. So India is the only major economy wherein the auditing profession or the auditing is self-regulated. So there is a need for a proper audit regulator. So National Financial Reporting Authority, it is a independent regulator of the auditing profession, and it attempts to tighten the regulatory oversight for the auditors as well as auditing firms, that is chartered accountants and chartered accountant firms, in order to plug loopholes.